Because who wouldn't want to go see a Jurassic Park movie about giant locusts? Hey everybody, welcome to Mainely Movies. As part of my Jurassic Park franchise review series, today I'm going to be talking about the 2022 sci-fi action sequel, Jurassic World Dominion. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for a variety of movie-related content like reviews, rank lists, and trailer reactions. All my reviews include a breakdown of the pros and cons, my rating, and some tailored film recommendations, so be sure to watch through to the end of this video for all of that extra content. Jurassic World Dominion stars Chris Pratt, Laura Dern, and Sam Neill, and was directed by Colin Trevorrow. Set 4 years after the events of Fallen Kingdom, it tells the story of a dual rescue mission by Claire and Owen, while Alan and Ellie simultaneously investigate the cause of a global ecological collapse. It's a little hard to believe, but Jurassic World Dominion is the 6th film in the Jurassic Park franchise, the 3rd of the Jurassic World trilogy, and quite possibly the final Jurassic Park movie. Its predecessor was a little lackluster, so I wasn't super excited for this movie, but I will say that the trailers definitely heightened my anticipation for it. There was so much potential for this film. We were finally going to get the payoff of an actual Jurassic World. We were going to witness coexistence between humans and dinosaurs, and all of the ecological and societal ramifications of that. Plus, this was going to be a melding of old and new, even more so than the dinosaur themes inherently offered, because we were going to get Jurassic Park characters returning to join Jurassic World characters for one final dino adventure. So many possibilities and so much potential, most of which was squandered. I do want to start by saying that I don't think this is a terrible movie. It's just not the movie that was set up for, which makes it feel far, far more disappointing than it actually is. Jurassic World Dominion promised us an actual Jurassic World, a world where dinosaurs now roam free. No island, no theme park, they're just out and everywhere. And we do get to see a little bit of that. It's comparatively minimal, but those occasional scenes of people or animals interacting with dinosaurs in the wild or in cities are among the best in the film. But bafflingly, that is not what this movie's about. Critics of the Jurassic Park sequels have long derided these films for their sameness. Similar plot points, copy and paste characters, even just general rehashing of what came before. Jurassic World Dominion definitely goes out of its way to be something different. It's more of an action thriller than anything else, with globe-trotting espionage and conspiracy plots. It's also got a ton of action set pieces, which are among the film's best aspects. It's a very big movie, with much more plot complexity and grandiosity than we've ever seen before in the franchise. Different is commendable, but unfortunately, this movie devotes way too much time to focus on a multitude of human subplots, with dinosaurs largely taking the back seat. Even Jurassic World darling Blue is barely in the film. Although not nearly enough time is devoted to dinosaurs in this film, it's not like they're completely absent or anything. We do still get some dinosaurs. The CG work is just about on par with what we've seen in the last few films, but as always, it's the practical dinosaurs that really shine. We've got our franchise favorites like the T-Rex and Velociraptors, old returning dino pals like the Triceratops and Dilophosaurus, and even a few newcomers like the Therizinosaurus and a Gigantosaurus. There are definitely some fun moments with dinosaurs out in the wild, but like I mentioned before, confusingly, this film forgoes that near limitless potential by sticking us, the characters, and the majority of the dinosaurs in an isolated, artificially contained area for most of the movie. We might as well just be back on the island again. Except this time, there's no awe or wonder. In fact, I think this is probably the least memorable the dinosaurs have ever been in a Jurassic Park film. But that's not their fault, so much as it is the script's, and its human focus and insistence on using the dinosaurs as little more than jump scares or big obstacles to run around. Surely it's the dinosaurs that are usually the big draw for Jurassic Park movies, but this film sees the return of 3 original Jurassic Park stars. They've each featured in at least one other film in the franchise, but this is the first time since 1993 that they've all been back together. and as a fan of Jurassic Park, it was definitely exciting to see. There were plenty of little references and homages, plus the chemistry is still there between all three of them. I have to say, it was fun to see these original Jurassic Park characters existing in the same world and situations as the Jurassic World characters. After the first trailer, I was a little concerned that Alan and Ellie would be little more than cameos, but they're very involved and have just as much screen time as Claire and Owen do. What they're actually given to do is a little underwhelming, but at least they're a pretty big part of the movie. I do wish Lex and Tim could have been brought back too, but I guess I can't complain. Honestly, the same thing goes for the film as a whole. It wasn't quite what I was expecting, or really what I wanted, but it wasn't terrible either, which just means it's another Jurassic Park sequel. Alright, let's talk about the pros and cons. The biggest pro was the potential. Now, I realize that probably sounds like a bit of an underhanded pro, and I guess it might sort of be, because the film didn't really live up to its potential for the most part, but there were glimmers of that occasionally. For me, the biggest draw and potential for this film was the realization of an actual Jurassic World. Not just dinosaurs at a theme park or on some isolated island, but dinosaurs everywhere. I wanted to see wild dinosaurs interacting with people or other animals. And although the focus of the film was definitely not on that, we did get to see occasional glimpses. Pro number 2 was the action. This has been one of the better aspects of the entire Jurassic World trilogy, and I think this one probably ups the action even more than Fallen Kingdom did. It's weird, because the film definitely feels slow and seems to drag at points, but there were really a ton of big action set pieces. A chase sequence that takes place in Malta is probably the best one here, but there were also some pretty impressive moments of action during the third act as well. There was quite a bit of formulaic repetition to the sequences involving dinosaurs, but I suppose there's only so many ways for people to respond to a dinosaur chasing them. On the con side, the biggest issue was the focus. It just seems so strange to me that quite possibly the final Jurassic Park movie ever isn't even really about dinosaurs. That might be a little hyperbolic, but not as much of an exaggeration as you might think. The first Jurassic World movie was about a theme park and a dinosaur escaping. There were human characters and things going on with them, but the dinosaurs were definitely the focus. In Fallen Kingdom, the plot revolved around saving the dinosaurs from a volcanic eruption, and then saving them from human greed. Again, lots of human stuff, but the focus always came back to the dinosaurs. This movie does feature a dinosaur rescue subplot, but it's definitely a minor component of the film. Most of the movie is human-centric, and focuses on either corporate conspiracy and corruption, or a genetic subplot that was one of the more random, seemingly throwaway things that was introduced in Fallen Kingdom. Con number 2 is the script. I suppose I could have put this as the first con, since it's a bit of an umbrella issue that encompasses the focus, but this was just a strangely written movie all around. It squanders nearly all of the potential that was set up by the previous film, instead hyper-focusing on two non-dinosaur plots. The story and pacing were all over the place, and the film was definitely far too long. Plot threads and whole characters were just suddenly introduced and then forgotten just as quickly. And even just from a writing perspective, this was iffy. Some of the dialogue was pretty bad, especially during the first act and a half or so. And I honestly don't know if it improved over the course of the film, or if there was just less talking once everybody was running from the dinosaurs. Before I give you my rating and recommendations, I want to remind you that if you're interested in buying Jurassic World Dominion or any of the other films I mentioned today, I do have affiliate links for all of them in the description below. I get a small commission from anything you buy using one of my links, so I'd really appreciate it if you use them if you're in the market for any of these movies. I'm gonna give Jurassic World Dominion 3 out of 5 paws. I will say that, at least on first watch, it's a very low 3 paws, and I was really going back and forth between 2.5 and 3. It didn't live up to the potential that it promised, and there were definitely not enough dinosaurs, but it did have some fun action and some nostalgic returns that were very satisfying for a fan of the franchise. I would recommend Jurassic World Dominion to people who like the other two films in the Jurassic World trilogy. If you liked what was set up during Fallen Kingdom, especially with regard to Maisie, then you'll probably enjoy seeing how the story plays out. Fans of the original Jurassic Park might also get some nostalgic enjoyment from seeing Alan and Ellie and Ian together again, but this movie spends an awful lot of time on human-centric storylines and really sidelines the dinosaurs, so that'll probably be at least a little disappointing for just about everybody. If you liked Jurassic World Dominion, I would recommend Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. It was the second film in the Jurassic World trilogy and set up a few of the key plot points that are explored further in this film, namely Maisie and her unique origins, and the fact that dinosaurs have now spread across the world. If you like the characters of Alan, Ellie, and Ian, and have somehow managed to avoid this film for nearly 30 years, you should definitely check out the original Jurassic Park. It sets up for, I guess, what eventually becomes of this franchise, and it's also just a really good film when viewed as a standalone. And if you're interested in another franchise revival trilogy ender, you might want to watch War for the Planet of the Apes. It's the third film of the rebooted Planet of the Apes trilogy, and largely delivers on what its predecessors set up. Alright, a couple questions for you guys. Number 1. Have you seen Jurassic World Dominion? If so, what'd you think of it? And number 2, what's your favorite movie about an animal rescue? Be sure to leave your answers in the comments below so we can get a discussion going. Alright, so if you got some enjoyment, insight, or information out of this review, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe while you're at it to see more videos like this. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainely Movies. The way life should be.